Good morning, friends. And you know, India is actually making a very big name in the global arena. Uh, there are a lot of good things in India. That is, it is a democratic country. Lot of educated people, big pool of skilled labor, and therefore, and it's a large country. So almost like 20% of the population of the world live in this land. So a huge chunk of society, educated, free will, free mind people, and therefore, finally, India is now making a dent in the economic sector. However, this growth has to be sustained. The growth requires sustenance, and also it also requires we have to factor in the competition, and the biggest competition we have is the China, followed by USA, because USA and China, they are also pretty large economy and also have huge population of skilled labor. So today in the morning session, I'm actually going to discuss about what is going on in terms of the skilled labor or skilled workforce situation, and how we can sustain this particular growth. Because when we actually hear from the government, the growth parameters are very good, they are outstanding, but then growth has to be overall, because if there are large industries that are responsible for top line, we also have to look at what is the potential for the MSMEs, etc., and because that will give the holistic growth parameter in the future. So let us begin our session. And as I said that Indian political dispensation is actually striving very hard, and they are doing everything possible. In fact, more than what other governments have done, this particular government is doing everything possible to ensure that the Indian, people, Indian stature, Indian status is, improve all the time. So a lot of good things have been done by the government. There are a lot of good things have been done by the government of India in terms of providing certain schemes. Like, for example, one of the popular scheme is the performance linked scheme, PLI, especially to boost the manufacturing segment. And there are so many other schemes. There is a startup scheme, and there is some other scheme which actually tells that the will of the government is to ensure that the productivity improves, and therefore they are doing the right thing. And in fact, because of these efforts, collectively, government as well as the people, the Indian country, as a country, the status has improved in all parameters. So as I said, we have to look at the sustenance part of it. So let's look at the skilled workforce status. You see, what is happening is, the post pandemic, there were a lot of changes in the way we do business. We do business physically when we actually travel to the place of work, or we also do work over the phone or online. So after the pandemic, what has happened essentially is that the online medium has come up in a very, very big way, and people realize that anything can happen tomorrow, those kind of thing, philosophy related issues, they started creeping up in the minds of the people. Before 2020, what used to happen is that for the better opportunity, people used to shift their cities, shift their bases to wherever they find the good opportunity. So there were a lot of traveling going back and forth. But after 2020, people realized that, look, I better be with my family, because I do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. So even if there is a less salary, and even if I travel to a different city, I may have to incur expenses in rentals and stuff like that. Whereas if I live with my family, and if I do my economics right, then I can actually look after my dear ones, can maintain a quality of life, and also look at how I can do savings. And this is the realization that many people got in 2020, and this is actually snowballing right now. So there are two schools, basically, the old school and the new school. The Old school is basically saying, look, I want to see people sitting in my office right here in front of my own eyes because I want to monitor them. The situation right now as regard to with regard to the skill workforce is that uh, the workforce is thinking in a different direction, whereas the old school guys who are really the big guys are thinking in a different direction, or they are for their business it's important to have workforce, or for basically their survival or sustenance their model is to basically have the workforce sitting in their office, and then they have all kinds of management departments like HR and all kinds of management. They implement to monitor this workforce. Now, if the workforce is not there, all other departments will not be there to monitor. So it's becoming a catch-22, and it's this is 3 years post pandemic. A lot of workforce has already moved into their comfort areas. So this is something which is going on, and therefore this is something which we should be aware of, that the way we do business or the way we actually ramp up our workforce is changing quite a bit. In fact, so many skilled workforce, even junior or senior, whatever the case may be, they have moved to their comfort areas, and they are not willing to shift their bases based on the opportunity. So this is becoming a spiraling mechanism, especially for the large enterprises, where the old school still prevails, because they cannot change overnight. I'm not saying that they are not thinking about it, but they cannot change overnight. They will have to plan their transition into the new way of doing things, and this is where we are today. And this is a big challenge, and I thought I will discuss this in my live stream. If you have any questions, you can send it across and I can address it right away. So the workforce is available, but they are not available where you want them. They are there, but they are not there when you need them and where you want them. Before pandemic, the offshoring, outsourcing used to be a major buzzword, but I think we have not heard about offshoring, outsourcing in last 3 years, and the trend will continue. In fact, by 2030, a lot of these things will actually get sort of chiseled in stone, because right now we are changing over. We are basically looking at how we can basically make the ends meet. And there are two entities here, the employer and the employee. Employee is already moving on, and as per the latest survey, nearly 50 to 60% employees, or the skilled labor as we call them, they are living in their own comfort area, probably closer to their relatives and home, and employers are basically located where the industries are. So a lot of people have moved back, and now the industries have to ramp up. They will have to find new skilled laborers. So what are the choices? What are the choices they have? The choices are basically to reskill the workforce. That will take some time, because getting skilled is something which is not overnight. You just can't do scaling just like that. So if the skilled labor has moved to their respective homelands, getting the new labor skill will take some time. So that is why a lot of enterprises started saying that, look, there is not going to be any moonlighting. You have to work from the office. You can't work from home. And people said, okay, you are forcing these things. So what? I will just quit and move on, because I would like to live my life the way I want. So nearly 50 to 60% of the people moved back to their respective comfort areas, and they are willing to work as a freelance in the freelance arena. And a lot of opportunities are also available for the freelancers. So they will like to get engaged for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and if they get paid for that 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, they are okay with that, because their expenses are also less. So the enterprises will have to undergo tremendous change, considering these changes which are happening in the industry today. And therefore skill, developing new skill is the key here. The development of new skill area is very important. Now let's talk about the employee mindset. The employee mindset is, look, I'm expert in XYZ, and this is what I do, and you take it or leave it. So a lot of people are not very open-minded to get new skills, because what is happening today is that while the employers or the enterprises are moving in that direction where they become sort of project management organizations, outfit, not so big in terms of hiring, not 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 people employed. They are moving towards an arena where almost 40 to 50% of their activities will be outsourced to freelancers, and therefore they will actually become more of a project management outfit, and they will actually ensure that their profitability remains the same, and they will probably engage with more project management skill sets. So in order to manage huge workforce spread into different areas, and also keeping track of the timesheets, etc., and the remuneration given out to the people, the whole thing is that the large enterprise will slowly transition into project management, and then they start looking out for skills wherever they are, and they will have to employ smart workflow and project management solutions, and to engage with the freelancers which are available in whatever area they are doing business. On the other hand, the employees, the prospective employees will have to upskill, because if they are saying that, look, I have done enough my education, and I'm expert in these things, and this is what I do, take it or leave it, that is not going to work. So therefore the skill have to be acquired. And what are the skills? That brings the next question is, what are these skills which you need to acquire? So the skills that are required, firstly, is the online skills. Basically, how you can actually engage with people online. The biggest skill is, how do you talk to the people? Communication skills. That is the biggest skill today which is required, and it's a skill. You just cannot learn it. In fact, during the old era, when people used to get employed for a physical job, we understood very well that, okay, for this job communication is very important, for the other job communication is not so important. But when we are online, communication becomes the most critical skill to have, because if you cannot communicate, then how you intend to get employed, because you're not physically present. You are basically joining through a video call or through a voice call, and then in that 15-20 minutes or 10 minutes you need to convey that you are the best person. So these are the keywords that I'm talking about: convey, communication. So these are the skills which people must have. When it comes to Gen Z, that is not a problem. Gen Z are very smart people. They are well versed with the latest skills required, and in fact at the school level, at the college level, they are exposed to these things. The problem is the middle age group, and by the time the psychology is sort of fixed in the mind, therefore these people will have to think radically, and they have to start getting the skills. So communication skill is one of the key skill to have. Second skill is the how do you basically emphasize that, look, I am the person for this job, and if you have the skill for that job, then only you will get you will get some sort of information or description which you can communicate to the employer, and for that you need to understand what are the upcoming skills which are more prevalent in the market. So the skills which are required by the enterprises are obviously the communication skills, because that is what key here. Project management skills, and you would also need designing skills, you would also need some sort of usage of camera, filmmaking. These are the skills which are very much in demand. These are the generic skills which are required for everyone. But then beyond that, you also need to know what are the upcoming online opportunities. So the biggest booming sector in online is the edtech, education technology, because most of the students are now doing online education, and because of this edtech revolution, um, there are a lot of companies building solutions. They are actually building solutions to give better experience to the students, and they're trying to ensure that the experience of the student is as close as the physical school. So education technology is going to explode in 2024, and there is going to be a lot of skills required, new skills. For example, how do you teach? Now we have already crossed the bridge of communication. I've told you enough that communication is the most important skill to have. Public speaking, communication, those are the most important skill. But beyond that, you need to also, suppose you want to teach student, you need to know the subject, you need to know the mathematics, you need to know the science, geography, etc. So you need to upskill in those areas. And when you want to upskill, and you have to see that when you want to train certain students online, then you have to also see that what is the course curriculum, what is the student, because to treat student like a customer. And the course curriculum has to be, you have to be aware of the course curriculum, because if you are not teaching something else, then student is not interested, because he is interested in what he wants to learn. So you need to also get skilled about what is the prevailing course. Similarly, the other area which will explode is the health tech. So as it is, there are a lot of doctors and a lot of people are getting engaged online, including the laboratory apparatus in the healthcare arena. So health tech is going to explode. There are a lot of new things happening in this arena. There are new opportunities coming up for doctors as well as nursing staff and as well as patient. How do you basically engage with your doctor when you want to basically go to the hospital? Because prior to going to the hospital, there are certain steps that you need to follow. For example, blood test. In order to determine what's wrong with you, somebody has to do a blood test. Now, if you basically go to the hospital, doctor will simply write a prescription saying that, okay, take these medicines for next 2 days, but meet me after 3 days after having done these tests. So instead of going to the hospital, hassles of standing in the queue, waiting for your term, all that is history already. You can book an online physician or doctor's appointment. Doctor can give you a prescription. Then once the doctor issues a prescription, you can actually click something and say that, look, I'm actually requiring these tests. So once these tests are the path lab people can come and take your samples, and by the time the third day comes, you can actually meet the doctor with your test without stepping out of your home. So up to that level is already happening. It's just that the patient community is waking up to this reality. Gradually there will be a time where you will be able to engage with any doctor anywhere online and get the test done without leaving your home. So as it is, this requires certain changes in the health ERP, and that has already happened. The next level will be to give you augmented reality impression, whereas when you actually meet your doctor, he will be able to give you a more immersive experience. So a lot of technology is being developed in this arena. This is going to ramp up. Now, if you talk about finance, again, you don't have to go to bank or an insurance company or XYZ company. You can actually use your app of choice and invest in anything that you want. So consolidation of financial systems are happening. So like that, there are new emerging business arenas which are visible as of now. And last 3 decades, the most happening place used to be information technology. But I think going forward, information technology will take a back seat, and the next level is the edtech and healthcare opportunities. And there are a whole lot of opportunities between them. As you know, education is a big business, and so is healthcare. The third arena which is going to open up is the space exploration in general. So undersea exploration, space exploration, because that is where we have come so far, and in order to grow further as humanity, we need to go out either in the ocean or on a different planet. So a lot of opportunities are coming for, especially for the Gen Z, and Gen Z is looking towards such opportunities. Similarly, there are new skills being provided by different departments. If you look at government realize that these are the opportunities which are going to happen, and they are actually striving hard to provide skills. In fact, if you are in India, then there is a skill development initiative by the government, where both IBM and Microsoft have partnered with the Skill Development Corporation of India, and providing all the new skills which I have spoken so far for free. So you don't have to basically spend money and join some institute to gain these skills, communication skills, presentation skills, programming skills. Those are being provided by the Skill Development of India for free. Not only in India, they have also tied up with US to provide all the skills to Fiji Islands. So a lot of such activities are happening. There's a lot of initiative going on in order to ramp up the skills. But the whole point of today's discussion is that we need to understand these changes, because if you tend to ignore what is going on, then you will miss the bus. You need to understand what is going on, what is the happening arena, what is selling, what is not selling, and then you will become smarter, and you will be sellable. Your skills will be sellable. So understand that most of the activity, at least 50% activities, are moving online, system driven, app driven, and so on and so forth. Security will become very important. So skill development certainly is a very key area that you should look at. And the enterprises anyway are changing. They are changing in terms of how they are going to engage with their employees, and the new skills are being, if they are available, then the enterprises will be able to hire you wherever you are. You can be anywhere else. So in a true sense, these changes are actually making the world smaller, because then engagement is the key here. So if you are based in India, you can be engaged from anywhere in the world, because all you have to do is you just need a mobile phone with a good enough connectivity. So I think all of those things are now very readily available at a very low cost. So that is not an issue anymore. The issue is, how do you project yourself as that you are the person for this particular job? And that is where you have to start thinking, and you have to start looking at the world with a new spectrum. The other area I would like to talk about is the gender diversity. See, when we walk into just 3 years back, when we used to go into any office, we used to see more men working and less of women. I'm not saying that certain businesses will have a different flip side, but then most of the enterprises will have the men folks more than the women folks. So that will also undergo tremendous change, because there will be a gender diversification because of the online. Because online doesn't care whether you are a man or a woman. So as long as you fit the bill, you are in business, you get employed, you will be hired. So this online mechanism will also create the gender diversification, and if, in fact, women can actually learn all these skills while sitting at home and then get employed by the enterprises. So this will create a totally different scenario, because many times women find it difficult to travel. If the enterprise says that you have to come and sit in front of me then women folks don't want to do that. There are certain things men don't have to. For example, traveling to some area, which was a job reserved for men only, certain difficult areas. So now, if things are moving online, then women can do all kinds of things if as long as they are online. Therefore, the online mechanism will create a gender diversification and will also increase the pool of people which are available, ready to be hired, whether they are men or women. It doesn't matter. So diversification, the gender diversification will also be the key here. So these are the things which I thought we'll talk about in today's live stream, where if we get the skill matrix right, then there is no stopping. The India will definitely outshine. But then if there is a stumbling block in terms of the skill availability, then while the government is doing everything to ensure that the India outshines all other businesses, all other countries, but then the skills are not there, then there will be a break on that growth. So the challenge is basically the understanding, the mindset. That is really the big challenge. And I said that I will discuss the challenge. I've discussed the challenge. The challenge is to change your mindset, get new skills, get employed online, because next decade is for online mechanism, online jobs. So friends, I hope you liked what I said. If you want any specific query, if you have any query, you can send in your message and I will respond to your question in the next one. My name is Chandrakant and you're watching Akulmach Business. So thank you for watching me today, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.